And it'll be interesting to see how this turns out. Match number 2 in the Sunday Community Skirmish. Number 9 finals between the Ryders and the Thralls. Will the Ryders be able to pull this down 2-0 and go undefeated, almost unkilled? This is the first few kills that they gave up so far in their run here. Thralls trying to come on back and take this to a map number 3. We'll see which one of these teams ends up doing. So, of course, once again, I am Imagine, and with me is Morty, and we are heading into map number 2 here between these two very accomplished and very well-played teams. On Northern Fjords. Once again, kind of a longer range map, and we did see the Spire turn into lumberfish, jackfish, whatever you want to call them.
Yeah.
So, as much, even though I said the Spire might stay, it's the same setup except a different type of ship.
Yeah, it's pretty much the same job it's going to do, but you do need that extra maneuverability on this map. You can't. There's nothing big and tall to hide behind on this.
Yeah.
So
except maybe the archway, but I think it's only if you're blue. Anyway, let's give a quick rundown of ships. Crown Tyrant still sticking with that Gatling mortar up front. That is Scrimscraw's Pyra with that Banshee and Flare Gun on the side. And on the Glowfish, we've got a Lumberjack up front, Graphics 30 piloting that with a Flamethrower and a Flare Gun on the other side.
Yep, way over in Ryder, we have the Solar Awesome flown by Hillerton. He has the Flak Hades build, as we see quite a lot these days, with another side-mounted Artemis in the first slot and Flare Gun. So it's a very long-range built Pyramidion this time around. And we also have the LibGTK flown by Luosi, which is his classic Metamidion as always. Carronade mortar set at front with Gatling gun mortar set at front with Carronade flare gun on the sides.
Yep, so we are getting the blue team actually wandering around the back here, and they do get some flares going on. Crown Tyrant already spotted. The red team had a little bit of an inkling at this, and they are getting some shots off onto LibGTK, connecting with that Lumberjack.
Yep.
So continue to do so, but some of that went into the hull instead of the balloon, so not going to be popping that balloon. And Crown Tyrant, in the meantime, is getting caught by the LibGTK here. I think both blue ships actually going after the Crown Tyrant, but LibGTK does have to be careful as it is feeling that Lumberjack pressure.
Yeah, it is getting a bit of a beating, and now they're probably going to switch back to the
already losing his armor and just going to get smashed here.
Oh no, right, this is the part where the Goldfish has to turn tail and get back as fast as you possibly can, because you don't want those two pirates converging on you. That's the last thing you could possibly want.
Yeah, they are still firing that Lumberjack, of course, while they are falling and moving. It does get rather difficult to hit with that gun, so, wildfires mostly going on here. Very good starting job here, of course, by the Ryders, though. They just focused that Crown Tyrant right down, and now the Glowfish is in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, we've got the Pyramid is moving in, trying to get underneath the Glowfish, but he's outmaneuvering them well enough for the moment, getting inside the arcs of the Solus Mortem, inside the arm in time, so that they don't take too much damage on their way through, but they haven't got their hull back up to full yet. Okay, there goes the Hammerfall, and there goes the gun back up.
Yeah, they do manage to get out of the Gatling range of the LibGTK as well, so that'll do a good job for them. They are getting some shots on them by the Hades from the Solus Artem, but still doing okay with that, and returning kind of blind firing going on currently, as neither LibGTK or Solus Artem are spotted, while both of the red ships are.
Yeah, I think they're going to do the same thing that they did before. Let the Crown Tyrant take a few hits and try and hit whoever gets the most dangerous engagement, which they seem to be doing.
Glowfish going after the Solus Artem. Balloon still intact.
Crunch as the Solus Artem crashes into the archway.
Yeah, no big. My point was going to be they did not take any large gobs of damage there, as they didn't have a whole lot of momentum. But both Solus Artem and LibGTK lost their balloons. Finally, that Lumberjack pulling on through here. Solus Artem backing up into the rocks once more. We saw them do this on Canyons as well.
Yeah.
But no following shots this time around for that quick kill. LibGTK now getting pressured by Glowfish, and Crown Tyrant and Solus Artem are coming together here. Crown Tyrant has to be careful here, though. They don't want to get too far ahead and into LibGTK's arc, but they
Oh,
are,
there it
and Crown
goes, though.
Tyrant armor is down, and following those shots, taking him out, and just
a bit of an
too
overzealous
aggressive.
charge. Just a little bit of an overzealous charge, maybe 4 or 5 ship lengths too far. As soon as you see them gat shots coming, that's the time when you've got to get your foot on the reverse and get out of there.
Yeah, you know, it's this archway is almost like the chalk that you put down when you have a sibling in the same room, right? You know, like, this is my side, that's your side. You don't come over here, I don't go over there, and that's kind of what the Crown Tyrant has to start realizing. If you do get onto that other side of the archway, you have no way of protecting yourself. If the LibGTK's over there and, you know, you charge on 4 trying to catch the Soul Stardom, you're going to get shot down. And, you know, maybe you can do a little bit of damage, but chances are that you will die. Ryders are not a team to be trifled with.
No, they're not a forgiving team either. They won't let you have even the slightest bit of leeway. But it seems like the Glowfish did a good job trying to avoid the arcs of the Solar Swordman and get underneath the archway, but they're just not making these lumberjack hits at the minute. They're going to have to focus the LibGTK because it's giving the Crown Tyrant yet another firm beating.
Yeah, the armor's still down on the Crown Tyrant, almost getting taken out by the Soul Stardom, and the Goldfish here is just trying desperately to do anything it can, but these two blue ships are just brutalizing that Crown Tyrant over and over again. Crown Tyrant has been able to do absolutely nothing this entire match.
Yeah, they seem to be struggling very much, and that lumberjack isn't working as effectively as they'd like. We're not seeing regular balloon pops as we've seen them use it before, and the only way I can...
Finally going down there. Crown Tyrant losing his own balloon, though, which actually might be a little bit of a blessing in disguise because the LibGTK was just poking his head out right there.
Yeah, they were trying to get a couple of hits on LibGTK. Now, this is the place where LibGTK could push the advantage, and they seem to be doing so. The Crown Tyrant is stuck down below, leaving the Glowfish almost completely exposed.
Yeah, Glowfish is going to get it on here by LibGTK, but once again, Glowfish doing a very good job of pushing that Gatling fire into his balloon, not letting it hit the hull. However, from the side shots, here come those Hades taking out the armor of the
Glowfish. See some flak hits.
But not quite enough, not quite fast enough as they do get it. They get that armor back up, but now Crown Tyrant getting stuck around here on the side, and there he goes down once again. That is, I think that's 3 kills now on the Crown Tyrant. He's just had a miserable day so far.
Yeah, they're having a miserable match indeed. I don't know. They're not doing too many mistakes. Maybe positioning's a little wrong, but everything else seems to be fine. It's just getting overwhelming firepower constantly with not very much support. The LibGTK and the Solar Swordman haven't put a hair wrong yet. This might be the first time that something's going wrong as they're pushing forward fast. It might put the LibGTK too far in front of the Solar Swordman to be able to be covered.
Crown Tyrant getting focused on here once more. All those lumberjack shots going completely wild. Crown Tyrant taking large gobs of damage once more, and both these ships just like, you know what? If you can't hit us, Glowfish, I don't really care. We're just gonna take out the only ship that can actually kill us close, and they are doing so on a repeated basis. And now the Glowfish is here out by itself. You know, they did get some balloon fire going onto LibGTK, so that might help him a little bit, but he's kind of all alone here. He's gonna have to back up quite quickly and try to avoid the dual fire here by the Ryders, who just
yeah, this is gonna suck, really. This is really gonna suck for the Glowfish. If they can get behind that archway and get some cover, then that's great, but they've got a long way to go yet with 2 very angry bees chasing them.
Yeah, and all they need is just one more kill. We'll see if the Crown Tyrant can accomplish something now that they've actually got the back of one of these ships to them, and armor already getting stripped by the Gatling, but not quite enough, and mortar fire going completely wild. Both of these ships looks like they're hydrogening up here, but now the Crown Tyrant has turned himself into a dual stream fire between the Solus Artem and the LibGTK here in just a moment. Glowfish now coming back in here, Tyrant trying desperate to help his teammate once more, but Crown Tyrant getting focused here as lumberjack shots not going to help out too much as the Crown Tyrant is about to take those brutal damage.
Man.
And Ryders just dominated this match, just absolutely took advantage of the Crown Tyrant and win this out 5-0. And win this series 2-0. That was
Yep.
just clinical work there by the
That
Ryders.
was just surgical movement. Realistically, the two Pyramidians of Ryder did have slightly better builds. They were able to focus down the ship that had to come in very close because their weapons, especially on the Solar Swordsman, were still useful at a closer range rather than the Lumberjack being very, very difficult to use no matter where you've got it. I think it's just unfortunate. Unfortunate.
Yeah, and as you can see, when you're trying to shoot a lumberjack at a pyra, 2 shots doesn't take the balloon out. There's too much armor there protecting it, so you're not going to get those 2-shot lumbers to take balloons out. And if you then start missing like you were a lot, and once again, as you mentioned, lumbers are very hard to hit. It's quite a lot of finesse shots, and when you're having to maneuver around to avoid shots, it gets really hard to hit with it. But if you're not
Yeah.
hitting with a lumberjack, that goldfish is completely useless. It's literally just not doing anything. And then the Ryder team's like, all right, well, if that's how it's gonna be, we're just gonna take the pyre out repeatedly, and that's it. That's all we'll do.
Yeah. I mean, the ships were just too far apart. They were just used to, the Pyramidian had to push in too close to be of any use itself either, really. It's just unfortunate. I think it was just a little bit of overlooked logic, that's all. I think it was more of an oversight than a deliberate flaw.
Yeah. So, just to give a quick recap of today, we had 7 teams enter. We had the Grim Reapers and Glowwater Thralls. Thralls moving on from that. 404 beat up on Sky Bible Adventure Club. Ryders just smashed cake. Glowwater Thralls then took on Sacrilege in a very exciting matchup. When coming back to win that 2-1, Ryders continued their romp through and downed 4-0-4 to reach the finals as well. And in the finals, after a rough, close first game between the Ryders and Thralls, the Ryders do end up winning this 2-0. So that will do. That will do it for us tonight, guys. Thank you very much for watching. Thanks for joining us in another Community Skirmish night. This has been number 9.